Is your toddler absolutely refusing to use the potty? You have tried everything, stickers, rewards, even bribing your child, and they are just digging in their heels and they will not go. You're not alone and you're not doing anything wrong. Hi, I'm Missy, pediatric sleep consultant and potty training coach. I am here today to teach you some actual useful strategies on how to help with potty training those super stubborn children. Let's not waste any time and let's jump right in and redefine what stubborn really means. What does it actually mean to have a stubborn child? Calling a child stubborn usually has a negative connotation, but we need to change the narrative because this is part of their temperament and personality, and more likely than not, it is not going to change as they grow unless they actually actively work to change their actual temperament and personality as they get older. When we think of stubborn, we think of strong-willed, independent kids who don't like to be told what to do. They're very decisive, they know what they want, and they really thrive off of being independent. When it comes to toddlers, I think it is a beautiful thing to have a stubborn or strong-willed child who knows exactly what they want. It just comes down to changing your mindset around that type of personality and understanding that this child, they just need the freedom and ability to make their own choices when appropriate. And so when we're talking about potty training, it is not appropriate for them to say, no, I'm not going to potty train, but it is appropriate for them to make other choices within the realm of potty training. We'll jump more into that in a bit, so just keep it in the back of your head. The second thing that I wanted to talk about is removing pressure. The more that you put pressure on your child about potty training, the more they're going to resist. The very first question that I ask my clients is, how often are you prompting your child to sit on the toilet? And when they tell me every 20 to 30 minutes, I cringe on the inside. But that is always the first thing that I tell parents to stop doing. We don't need to be prompting our child or forcing them to sit on the toilet ever. We can give them ideas and a little bit of direction and make them have some reverse psychology situation going on and hoping that they will decide to sit on the potty. However, the more you try to force it, the more they're going to push back. Change your vocabulary and say, tell me when you are ready to sit on the potty. Or say, listen to your body, and when you feel the urge to pee or when you feel the urge to poop, here's the potty right here. When you remove that pressure, you're putting the ball in your child's court and you are letting them make those decisions, and they can tell you when they need to go. So here's where we talked about that independence and strong will. The third thing we're going to talk about is giving your child choices. I know this is not anything new to toddlerhood, but when it comes to potty training, we are not saying, do you want to sit on the potty? It's, do you want to sit on the downstairs potty or the upstairs potty? Do you want to sit on the toddler potty or the bathroom potty? Do you want to pull your pants down or do you want me to pull your pants down? All of these things. Where would you like me to be while you try and sit on the potty? Would you like me to stay with you or would you like privacy? So we're not asking, hey Jimmy, do you need to go potty? No, it's, Jimmy, you're wiggling and it looks like there's some pee-pee coming out right now. Would you like to sit on the toddler potty on the floor, or would you like to sit on the bathroom potty that's up high? So now your child is feeling like they are in control. Instead of thinking of telling you no, they're thinking about, which potty do I want to sit on? And you're giving them the power to have the independence that they so badly crave. The fourth thing is all about connection. While you're actively potty training, and I go through this in Potty Party, the course. So if you're at the very beginning stages of the potty training process, I want you to grab Potty Party, the course. It's in the description box down below because I will break down for you every single detail and every step of potty training to make it quick and easy the first time. Even if it's not your first time, it is still an incredible course to get you from point A to point Z. But connection is a huge part of the potty training process. Now, on days 1, 2, 3, however long it takes for your child to really perfect the act of pottying and disassociating peeing from going in their diaper and pooping from going in their diaper to now associating it with the bathroom, you are having so much connection time with your child that it's more of a fun bonding process than it is a teaching process, because you're actually not in charge of teaching your child anything except proper hygiene when using the bathroom, but your child is in control of teaching themselves when they feel the urge to go that they need to go use the potty, and they are fully capable of making this brain to body connection. Your job is to connect with your child through playing with them throughout the day, watching their bodily cues, and having those conversations. I know it probably sounds crazy, especially if you have a toddler and maybe you don't always narrate things to them, maybe you don't talk to them in such a way, but if your child is giving you some pushback and they're being stubborn, you can say things along the lines of, "You're having so much fun playing with these monster trucks. I know it can be hard to get up and go to the bathroom, and we can save your trucks right here so that as soon as you're done racing to the potty, washing your hands, and coming back, your monster trucks will be right here waiting for you." This is also something that you can discuss with any daycare, preschool teachers, babysitters, whoever, so that everyone is on the same page, just knowing that, hey, my kid is really stubborn in the fact that if they need to go to the bathroom, but they're playing with something, that they need to be reminded and connected, get on their eye level, and they need to be reminded that it's okay to feel frustrated, that they need to get up and leave their game or their toy or whatever so they can go to the bathroom, but please just give them that reminder that they can always come right back when they're done. The fifth thing is to have a visual routine. I am all about the visuals. There are visual routines in Potty Party, the course, that are there for you to, they're just printable ready. You can print them off, cut them out, laminate them if you want to, because they're bound to get wet. But I love having potty routine cards. They say potty, wipe, flush, wash, and having them in the bathroom in order where your child can see and touch them is going to give them predictability and routine and consistency. The best part about using visual routines is that your child understands the structure and they can put cards in any order that they want. Of course, it needs to make sense, but if your child wants to be silly and change up the order of the cards, that is fine. Let them do what they're gonna do. When your child has a visual representation of what comes next, they have that structure and that predictability. They know what is expected of them. They know what they need to do next, and they are way more willing to do so when it's right there in front of their face. You're not the one telling them about it. The cards are telling them about it. And they helped you cut the cards out, right? They helped you laminate them. They helped you hang them on the wall. So they did take ownership of this. Visual routines are an amazing thing, not only for using the bathroom, but any routines that are repetitive, bedtime routines, morning routines, all the routines when your child needs that visual representation. The sixth thing is one of my favorites that I think a lot of parents just oversee. And I think because we're in a very product-oriented society, I think that people forget to celebrate the attempt. We need to celebrate effort, not just success. Especially if you have a stubborn child who refuses to even sit on the potty, we need to reward them when they do sit on the potty so that they're feeling that excitement. They're getting that dopamine hit. I know that phrase is all the rage right now. You're probably hearing it all over the internet. But if we're releasing the endorphins and whatever, all the happiness that your child is feeling when they are getting praised for the things that we want them to continue doing, they're getting that positive reinforcement for the very little things, we can slowly move the needle and start praising them and rewarding them for the successes as they happen. Now, again, a success can be sitting on the potty for 3 minutes. I don't care if they're playing with fidgets the entire time. They're sitting and they're learning that this is a safe place. You can reward them for trying to push out a poopy. You can obviously see when they're trying to push out a poopy. You can reward them for that for a couple days. And then over time say, I see you're trying, let's get a reward when your poopy comes out. And then we can move the needle so that we're not always rewarding every little tiny thing, but it is so important to reward the child when we need to move them from a point of most resistance to least resistance and actually seeing success. When your child is starting to see success, it's really important to reframe your praising words to, you listen to your body and you must feel so much better right now. You must feel so relieved that you emptied your bladder, and really putting it on your child and how it's making them feel, because it's about them, it's not about you. One of the biggest things that I think is really important to remember with strong-willed children is that we are not trying to break their strong will. We're not. We're trying to roll with it. We are trying to find what works for these children, and every child is going to be different. So whatever ends up motivating your child is what you need to work with during the process of teaching them to understand how to use the potty. Now remember that you are your child's biggest cheerleader. You are not their dictator, and you don't need to tell them, let's sit on the potty, let's sit on the potty, let's sit on the potty. It is listening to your body and going when you need to go. Remove the pressure, enjoy the process, have fun with your child, make those connections with each other. Grab Potty Party the course. There is so much information in there on how to remove the stress of potty training and just make it easy. It can and should be a fun process. Make sure to grab that course. I will leave the link in the description box down below. I will also leave it in the comment section, and keep blooming. Mwah.